Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the webinar training for the new @Realty software. We're very excited to present this to you today. We've released this yesterday, and so far it's been very positive feedback from everyone. Throughout this webinar today, you might find that there is a little bit of lag in the video and the audio. I'll do my best to try and slow down so that you don't miss out on any of the information. If for whatever reason you are experiencing a lot of lag and you're unable to keep up, we will be recording this session and sending it out. Alternatively, you can always just give us a call and you can run through it one-on-one with us. If you do drop off, I understand. We have had a few issues with some of the lag so far. But here we are, very excited to present this to you. We've been working very, very hard on this. We've taken your feedback on board over the last few months in terms of what you want to see, what you want changed, and different features that you want in your CRM and really your virtual office. This is what it is. It's your office in the cloud. So we've tried to incorporate as much of that as we possibly could. Obviously, not everything could be done at once, but we have focused on the fundamentals of what this system needs to do, which is manage your contacts, create listings, put listings onto the internet websites, and then, of course, provide offers and mark those as sold. So this platform is based on Salesforce. It's a Salesforce system. For those of you who aren't familiar with Salesforce, they are the largest CRM provider in the world. They are a huge company, and they constantly update this system to make it better and better and better. So that's a nice thing. It is one of the most stable CRMs out there. So it's incredibly quick, very reliable, and very, very flexible. So we've actually customized the entire platform to suit our business needs, our business structure, then of course to make you an efficient agent. So we will be definitely improving this in the coming weeks and months. So as we roll out new features, we'll keep you guys updated either through webinars or through emails or video tutorials. We certainly want your feedback on what you think of the system and what sort of improvements here and there that you might want to see, and we'll take all that on board. So getting into it now, basically what you'll see here on your left hand side is just recent items that you may have viewed. So you got quick access to your listings, your contacts, your potential clients, your offers, and everything through there. Also through the search bar up here, you can search your system for any of the above: contacts, listings, properties, etc. Down below, forms and contracts. So that button, if you click on that, will take you to your relevant state's contract system. So if you're in New South Wales, that'll take you to REI NSW, and you no longer have to memorize a password for that. In Queensland, it's RealWorks. Here, if you click on Price Finder, that'll take you straight into Price Finder. And then if you click on @Realty Marketing, that will take you into the @Realty Marketing website. So the whole idea is that everything is now centralized in this system. You no longer have to memorize different passwords for the different services. Soon your email will even be centralized in here too, which will be very, very easy. One of the major things you'll notice on here is My Tasks. So that does take up a large portion of the screen, and that's obviously a very important function of this system to make sure that it informs you of key tasks that are upcoming. Now that might be for tasks around a contact, might be tasks around an offer or a listing that you have, anything like that. So you'll see here, the second one here, send an email about an open home. That's Jimi Hendrix. So Jimi Hendrix was a vendor of mine. I need to send him an email. You'll notice that it's red, meaning that it's overdue. So that's just informing me that I obviously have not done that yet, and I need to. There's also a pop-up menu that'll pop up whenever you log in for the first time that day, telling you what you need to do. Mary Poppins, I've got to call her about a listing. and that's due tomorrow on the 29th. If I had any tasks that were due today, they'd be showing up down here in this calendar portion. And then, of course, through here, I can create new events and meeting requests with other people. So everything's centralized from here. Up at the top, you'll see a series of tabs: contacts, potential clients, existing clients, listing, accepted offers, and support. So basically, the way we've designed this system around the CRM side of things is that you can put everybody that you meet on a day-to-day basis into the system as a contact. So that's everyone that you're ever going to deal with. This really should be treated as your address book. So you have everybody's phone numbers in your phone. They should now be in here as well. And we can actually data dump all of your contacts fairly easily. So you can talk to us one-on-one on how we do that. So when they're a contact, they can then become a potential client. Now, in real estate, you really only have two potential clients, and that's going to be either a buyer or a seller. Okay, and so those are the leads that you're working with to either try and get the listing or to get an offer on a property. Now, once they either submit an offer which is accepted or they sign up a listing with you, they then become an existing client. So they're either an existing client as a seller or an existing client as a buyer, and then you can see all their information through there. So it's categorizing the process from lead generation to them actually becoming a client. Listings and properties. So that's just a quick overview of all of your listings and your properties that are either actively on the market or have been sold. One thing that is slightly different with this compared to the old system is that you're able to actually capture information around the property now. So what I mean by that is if you're working in a neighborhood and you work on a particular street and you want to capture information about the 12 houses on that street, you can input all the data for those 12 houses and then just really treat those houses as leads themselves. So if you're door knocking those houses or sending flyers to those houses, you can keep track of all the different marketing initiatives that you've taken for each one of those properties on that street, and then eventually they could become a listing. And at that point, you can convert them. Accepted offers is what it sounds like. It's all the offers that have been accepted in your system, and then you have quick reference to those. And then support. Support is where you can just create a support ticket with the @Realty's head office staff here. So if you're having troubles with anything, you can just quickly say what that is. So putting a listing in the system. If you're having troubles doing that, let us know. It's a software problem. Click submit, and then that gets sent directly to us, and somebody at head office will be able to respond fairly quickly and provide a solution. And so you have a running track of that support ticket here. And then once we provide a solution or response to this, you get notified, and you can go and have a look at what we've come back with. So getting into it now, let's put a listing in. So the first point of call will always be to put the contact in. So in this case, you just simply click on contacts and then the new button there, click new. And in this case, we'll just make one up. We'll say it's Mark Rogers, and Mark Rogers' email is mark@rogers.com. If you don't know their email, that's fine. Just create a fake one. It could be mark@unknown.com, anything like that, just to signify that you don't know their email. So this person is going to be a vendor, and Mark Rogers, let's say he's from my referral network. Through, and then the lead source would be referral, and then I could put who is referred by down there if I wanted to, and then of course any other information, his mobile number is going to be handy, and then address details if I want as well. Click save. Okay, so you notice here that it's giving me an error message. Basically, I've created a referral, so once the system wants me to capture who's referred that, so I'll just say it's been Tony Smith. Click save, and it takes me into the contact record now. So this is Mark Rogers' contact information. I can now use the CRM system around this contact, so I can create new tasks. New tasks being I need to place a follow-up phone call in 4 days' time about potentially listing his home, and that will then end up on my home screen and notify me that I need to do that. If I've just spoken to Mark on the phone and I want to capture that information, I can log that call and write down what we discussed. Any notes and attachments I can also keep in here. Any emails I can send directly to him from here. And then listing and properties. If he's got a property that I want to capture the information about and potentially list, I can put the info in there. So once he's ready to sell his house, or I believe that he's becoming a hot lead to sell his house, I can convert him to a vendor. Before I do that, you'll notice that right now we're in the contacts tab. I'll click convert to vendor, and now he's becoming a potential client. So now he's a hot lead. I've been dealing with him for a little while. I provided him with a CMA, so if I've done that, I can capture that information, and now he's ready to list his property. So click on new property, and we'll put in the information about his new property. We'll say it's 99 Olson Ave, and we'll just say that's in, we can say it's in Robina. Okay, the rest of the fields here, city, region, state, zip, / postal code, those will automatically be filled in, so you don't need to fill those in. And then I can scroll down here to cell type, which is residential, and I'll say this is a house. Make it a 2-bedroom house. Floor area, let's just say it's 100 square meters. Bathrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 ensuite, 1-car garage, and let's say the land area was 345 square meters. And you'll see here for the land area measurements, we have acres and hectares as well for those of you who are doing larger land sales. Now I can scroll down, information about the vendor, it's Mark Rogers. Now let's say I've done a CMA for him. I believe his property is worth, let's say 350,000. So that'll be in there. Right now there isn't a range that you can put in, it's just a single number. But in saying that, we could always put a range in later on if that's something that everybody wants. Parking comments, just any comments on street parking, I can capture there. Tenancy, we'll just say that he lives there. Otherwise, if it's rented out, you can capture what the information is around the rental income. Is there vendor paid advertising? We'll say yes. Separate invoice for the vendor paid advertising, we'll say yes. So that just means that there's a separate invoice apart from what's already written on the listing agreement. And we'll click on save. So now that's all the information about the property there. So if I click on listing / property, you'll notice there it is, 99 Olson Ave. Right now the record type is property. It's not a listing yet because we haven't submitted the listing agreement. So going back into that property, if I try to convert to listing, I'll get an error message saying I'm unable to do so because I haven't submitted the listing agreement yet. So click OK, attach document, choose a file, and then I've just got to make sure here that I've clicked on listing agreement and attach file. So the nice thing is as well, we now have a saving indicator or a loading indicator, so you can see that the system is actually doing something. I've now been notified that the document's been uploaded. Click OK. And you'll see there it says attachments 1 now. There's the attachment listing agreement. I can convert to listing. Again, I won't be able to do it because there's vendor paid advertising, and there's a separate invoice for the VPA. So click OK and attach the document. In this case, I'm going to attach the marketing campaign. Choose a file, and let's just go with any old file, attach file. And so this is really acting as your filing cabinet. So all of your information can now be stored in this one spot. Anything to do with any sort of solicitor's letters, that's been uploaded successfully. Solicitor's letters, contracts, any information about the vendor that's gone back and forth, you can now keep in this in your cloud office, your virtual office. So if I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see I've got my listing agreement in there, and I have my marketing campaign, my invoice in there. So now I can convert that to a listing. And we are in the listing page now. So this hasn't been sent live yet. I've got to put all the information in there about the ad. So I'll first click on edit. Okay, so there's all the information from what I've just filled out. That's auto-populated into here. You'll see all the red lines. Those are the required fields that I need to fill out in order to send this live. So you'll also notice that there's little help icons next to some of these fields. So in this case, price display, price, this is the searchable price for the back end of the websites. So this needs to be filled out. So I'll put in 350,000. So that's always required to be filled out. Now that's the price that will be displayed if I wanted to, if I didn't fill out the next field. Now let's just say this is going to be an auction. I'll click on auction. I'll put in here auction. So now instead of the price being displayed, auction would be displayed, and auction date, we'll just go ahead and say it's next Tuesday. So auction time, we'll say 3:30. And then coming down here, headline, great family home. We're going to write a description about that. And then over here, your video link. You can put a YouTube link in there, and it's definitely advised that it's a YouTube link rather than any other form of video link, because if it's not a video, if it's not a YouTube link, it will not be displayed as the second photo on realestate.com. So make sure it is a YouTube link that you put in there, and then virtual tour link is just an interactive floor plan link that you can put in there. So scrolling down, I've got a lot of features that I can add. So I'll say, there's gas heating, broadband, there's a deck, and all sorts of stuff. So you'll notice that there are a lot more features than there were previously. That's features for the other websites as well, not just realestate.com. So for example, ocean views, whilst it's in here, that won't push to realestate.com because they just simply don't have that as an option. So scrolling down, now I can capture the information around the commission. So in this case, I'm earning 3% commission. I'm going to say that 3% is GST inclusive, and the rest of this will just fill out automatically. Scroll down, I can look at what websites I'm uploading to. So it's all the same websites as we've previously had. Rate My Agent is now on there because obviously there's been a lot of people that have wanted to see Rate My Agent and build up their profiles on that website. For those of you who do a lot of highlights and premieres, you will recall that we've had to always put that up manually for you, and then anytime there's an update, we would have to do that update for you, which could be a bit tedious. You no longer have to rely on us. You have full control over the highlight properties going up, and you have full control over making the adjustments. So in this case, I'm just going to say standard and save. So scrolling down, I can see all my information is there now. My commission details have been filled out. So 3%, the GST inclusive amount is $10,500, exclusive is 9.5, and then my commission based on my commission structure without realty, depending on what sort of agency license you hold, that's what I'll be earning at the end of it. And that's the GST exclusive amount. So scrolling down here, I can now attach my images and floor plan. So you'll notice that this is a customized page. It's a page that we've created in here, and eventually most of the pages in the system will have this sort of look and feel, and we're going to make it really nice and simple to use. So add images. We'll go ahead and add that one and that one, that one. There we go. There's my 3 images. They populate fairly quickly now, and then you can also just move them around. So you no longer have to you no longer have to delete all the images and then re-upload them. If you want to move the images around, you can simply just do it from this screen here. Click save. And then same rules apply as always with the images. No more than 26 photos. Realestate.com won't take more than 26 photos, and the images cannot be more than 1 megabyte. If they're larger than 1 megabyte, Realestate.com won't accept it. And also the floor plans cannot be larger than 100 kilobytes. So if the files are larger than that, they simply won't save and they won't push. So coming down here now, remember there's VPA for this, vendor paid advertising, so there's a marketing campaign. So we'll say that it's going to be paid by Mark Rogers. He's going to be transferring funds into the @Realty Trust account of, say, $1,500. That's due today, and he's doing that by electronic fund transfer. And then down here we can say what items he's purchasing. So we'll say sign is 400. And that's due by Tuesday. Photos are 200, and that's going to be due by, let's say, Monday. And then there's going to be a newspaper ad, which will give us, we'll say it's 900, and that's going to be due by Tuesday as well. So there's our $1,500 marketing campaign. I can click save, and now I can come back and refer to that anytime. The nice thing is this system actually communicates with our internal trust account software. So when you create a listing, that automatically creates an account in our trust accounting software. And then once we reconcile the funds that have come into our bank account, you will then see that that's happened in the system here. And a trust account receipt is automatically generated and sent to the seller in this case. So no longer do we have to handwrite them and then scan them and send them to you. Automatically, the system will send one to you and send one to the seller. So the next step here is inspection times. So some open homes. We'll say that we're doing one on, first choose the date. We're doing one on Saturday, and that's going to be at 11 a.m. to 11:30. And then if I wanted to add more, I can just click on that button there, and I can add more times. And click save. If I come down here, I can see that my inspection times are there now. So Saturday from 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. My attachments here are, I've got my listing agreement, my marketing campaign, my images are all there. So this is now ready to be sent live. So the other thing I can do when I'm in this page here is I can search the database, firstly my database of buyers, and then secondly the database of the entire @Realty organization and all the buyers in there, if there are any potentials for this property. In this case right now there aren't. All right, so we'll come back to how the listing buyer matching works in a second. I can also generate a brochure from here if I want to have a quick brochure for open homes or any other purposes. So now, if we look at how to deal with a buyer and submit an offer, it's the same starting point. Start at contacts, click on new, and we'll now put an offer in. We'll call him Todd Smith. Nice generic name. Again, in an email, Todd is a buyer. Now, Todd, I don't know much about Todd. He's just simply a buyer contact, that's all. I've never met him before. He's just he sent an inquiry through on realestate.com. So his lead source is website, and then I can capture any other information I want to on this screen. Click save. If I want to send any communications with Todd, I can do so on this screen. If he's a fairly serious buyer, hasn't decided what he wants to buy yet, but I've been speaking with him quite a bit, I can now convert him to a buyer. So click convert to buyer. And now he's up here in potential clients. So now Todd Smith, he knows what he wants. He just hasn't found the right property yet. So I can help him do that. Hopefully we've got a listing in the @Realty database. So now I can add his buyer requirements. So let's say he wants something in Robina. And I can add more suburbs by clicking that. He wants a residential sale. He wants a house. His budget's anywhere from, let's say, 300 to, we'll make it 500. He's got a wide range budget. Yeah, 2-bedroom property to a 4-bedroom property, 1 bathrooms to 3 bathrooms, 1 to 2 car parks, and then he wants, maybe a fireplace in there or anything else, pool, etc. So anything else. Now I click save, and I can see his buying requirements there. So Robina, 300 to 500,000, and then there are the stats. So now I can search listings. I'm in Todd Smith's record here. I can search listings for Todd Smith, see what we have. And 99 Olson Avenue pops up, and that's in Robina, and that suits what he's after. So because I am the agent, I'm able to go and click into the property and then look at the details of that property, maybe generate a brochure to send to him. But if I was not the agent and another agent had it, it would just simply have the agent's name and it would not be able to click on the property. So going back, we'll say that Todd did a showing. He really liked that house and he's ready to put an offer down. So we'll scroll down here into offers, click on new offers / contracts, and he's going to offer $375. Search for the listing, which is 99 Olson Ave. There it is. Buyer's solicitor name. You would have to enter the information about the solicitor. So let's say my solicitor in this case was John Elway. Let's say he's a solicitor for both parties, John Elway. If there's a conjunction, you would fill in the details about the conjunctional offer, but in this case there isn't. I have the listing and I've brought the buyer. Commission will be automatically calculated based on the new offer amount. And then any deposits that are due, so $2,000 coming into the @Realty Trust account via EFT. That's going to be due on Monday the 31st. Deposit reference, so this is just what the reference will be on the transaction. So in this case, we'll say it's 99 Olson Ave. There's a second to third deposit, inform us there, and then any conditions on the property. So condition, this is finance condition will be on the 1st, and needs, say, 300K for the finance. All right, and then any other conditions you just fill out there. Anticipated settlement, so let's just assume this is going to settle next Friday on the 4th. Now, if there's any rebates or refunds on the property, you can input that here. So what that means is, let's just say that $1,500 for the marketing, if we sell that for above the value, then we'll refund him the $1,500 on settlement. So you could say yes, $1,500 will be refunded on settlement. There it is. And then this information down here, obviously just leave blank. You don't need to worry about those. Click save. So again, an error message pops up, just notifying me that I haven't filled something out correctly. So the nice thing is it actually shows you what you haven't filled out. So error, you must enter a value. So in this case, the offer type is a finance. Click save. And now we're here. So there's all the offer information. That's all the key details out of the contract or letter of offer. You'll see that the commission amount will be $7,316. It's taken into consideration the $1,500 that we're going to refund him for the marketing, and all that is calculated based on the new offer amount. So click accept offer. It's going to tell me I'm unable to do so because I need to actually upload the offer. So click OK, attach document. So make sure I'm either uploading the completed contract or the offer letter here. And attach file. That's been done. Click OK. Oh, that might not have liked that one, did it? No, nope, that went through. So there, completed contract. There it is. Accept offer. So now that's my live offer. That's my accepted offer. I've got a property under contract. And now I just need to make sure that obviously send out the contracts to the solicitors at this point in Queensland, and stay on top of what's happening. And now if I exit out of this and I came back in another day, the next day, and I was in my home screen, I would see those tasks have been created for Todd Smith for the finance condition as well as the anticipated settlement date. So I'm now aware of what's coming up. And let's just fast forward. It's now the 1st of September, and Todd's got his finance. That's been approved. He's happy. That's now been completed. Click save, and that disappears from the taskbar there. Now this automatically makes the property unconditional in the system, because that was the only outstanding condition. We're now notified here at head office that's become unconditional. You're notified that's unconditional, and now we're just waiting on settlement. We can also at that point send out the invoices for the commissions, and liaise with the solicitors. So let's fast forward now. It's the 4th of September. Just for whatever reason, this property did not settle on the anticipated date. So I've just got to click into that task, click on edit. I can change that date now. Say it's going to settle on Monday instead. I can attach the solicitor's letter stating that settlement has been extended, and we get notified here at head office, and we can also do it for you as well. If we receive the letter instead, then we can always put that in there, and click on save. Now back to the home screen. I'll see that that's now been extended to Monday, the 7th of September. And now if we fast forward and that's now settled, I simply click on the completion of that task, and that now settles the property and marks it as sold in the system. So if I come up here to listing/property, you'll see that 99 Olsen Ave was sold today. It was marked as sold, and I can now click into it because it's not going to be showing us sold on realestate.com and the other websites just yet. I still need to send that information. So if I come down here, I'll see that the sold price was 375, which is 25,000 above the asking price. The sold date, the sold price label display. If I want that to be displayed, then I can just leave that box unticked. If I don't, then I tick that box, and I'll just simply have to click upload to websites again, and then it pushes. So it's that simple, and now it's marked as sold online. So that's a very basic run through of how the system works. Like I said, there's going to be a lot more that we'll be introducing in the coming months and weeks. So look, if you have any questions about what we've gone over today, feel free to give us a call or send us an email. Look, I hope you enjoy using it. We've tried to make it as user-friendly as possible. Um, and Let us know if you need help with anything. Thanks for watching the webinar. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a good weekend.